It's Friday. It's time to break down everything into the Void 5. This is your boy, Tommy Knox, live from Tokyo, Japan. And we're about to get this show started right fucking now.
Are you ready? I'm ready. Live on Revolution Radio, please welcome the host of the Hotwire, Tommy Knox.
Oh, yeah, and welcome back to the Hot Wire. I tell you what, guys, I am so excited for this show. I've been thinking about it for almost 2 weeks now, right? I've been missing SCW action, right? And it's time to break down every single match. I hope you had a good week, right? I hope you didn't miss Tommy too much, all right? I'm here broadcasting live outside, right? In Tokyo, Japan. And I tell you what, the people of Tokyo have been so wonderful. They've embraced the entire SCW universe while we've been here. It's been amazing, and I can't thank them enough. I also can't thank you, the listener, enough for making the Hot Wire what it is, right? Because without you, it's just some weird fucking dude sitting in his bedroom, right? Hello, listen, Into the Void 5, right? Lots of matches, right? This is the 5th annual Into the Void, obviously Into the Void 5. Okay, that's a phenomenon these days. You don't see a lot of these federations last that long to get to this point. Sin City Wrestling to me is the best in the biz, and obviously I'm biased. We know that, but I'm really excited about this show. I think it's got a couple of matches, especially on the undercard, that can really steal the fucking show, right? So let's jump right into it. Okay, there is a fatal 4-way roulette championship match. Okay, it's James Siskini, the champion, versus Ryan Keys versus Steve Ramone and Matt Spears. Let's take a moment and just talk about how we got here. Okay, James Siskini and Steve Ramone at Blaze of Glory went to a non-finish. Okay, there was a pin and a submit at the same time, and again non-finish. So they had a rematch. Okay, but before we got to the rematch, also at Blaze of Glory was another fatal 4-way match for a number one contender for that title. Two guys really separated from the pack. Those were Ryan Keys and Matt Spears. Matt Spears went on to win. All right. Matt Spears and Ryan Keys faced each other again. Ryan Keys won. Okay, 1-on-1, head-to-head. Also in that time frame, we decided Steve Ramone, who is the champion for the roulette champion, or was the roulette champion, would defend his title again against James Siskini because we never had a clear winner. Okay, so now James Siskini wins. So we have a new roulette champion in James Siskini. Okay, we have Matt Spears, the rightful number one contender. Now we also have Steve Ramone, okay, who just lost his belt and has a legitimate claim at a title match. On top of that, okay, you also have Ryan Keys that beat Matt Spears. So here's Ryan Keys saying, well, wait a second, I beat your number one contender 1-1, right? So why am I not the number one contender, right? All that said, all that coming together, we have another fatal 4-way, this time with the gold actually on the line. Okay, to me, and we're going to get to this a little bit later, to me this is one of those matches that I think can just really steal the entire show. And I hope not, because it's opening, right? We don't want the rest of the show to be underwhelming. But I think this one has Steeler written all over it. I also think it has new champion written all over it. I'm going to go with Ryan Keys. I think Ryan has been hot. I think he is one of the future stars of this company, and I think he's going to get some gold for the first time. So, Ryan, wherever you're at, bro, Tommy Knox is picking you. So don't let me down, motherfucker. All right? Next match is a one-on-one. All right? Straightforward wrestling match. We don't get too many of those all the time. It's Alex Rush, who I think is one of the most underrated talents in the business. Big Mr. Firecross fan. And Marcus Reeves, a newcomer who has looked pretty good since he's debuted. You know, I don't know if Alex Rush takes this seriously enough yet, and I know Marcus Reeves does. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick Marcus Reeves. I think Marcus has a good future ahead of him, especially maybe in the roulette division, right? He strikes me as a roulette kind of guy. So I'm going to go ahead with Marcus Reeves here. I think he's going to pick up win here, and he's going to continue to roll, and I could see him being pushed right into that roulette title picture after the mud of that fatal four-way kind of dissipates. The next match, also, to me, potential to be a huge show stealer. This match is for the Bombshell Internet Championship, but it's tag team rules. All right, and let's explain that for a little bit. Team number one is Metal and Punk Connection, right? We all know them. Jesse Salco, who is the Internet Champion, the Bombshell Internet Champion, and Amy Marshall, right? The returning, wonderful, amazing Amy Marshall. Big fan. All right, across the ring is Natalie McKinley, also returning, okay? Former roulette champion, and Melody Grace, right? Everybody's sweetheart. We all love Melody, okay? The kicker here is that whoever pins Jesse Salco, right? So if Natalie McKinley and Melody Grace win, and Jesse Salco is the one that gets pinned, okay? Whoever pins her will be the Bombshell Internet Champion, okay? To me, that's really interesting, all right? To me, very creative, very outside the box. I like it. I do think that Natalie McKinley and Melody Grace will win this match. All right? But I repeat, I do not think that either one of them will get the pinfall on Jesse Salco. I think Amy will take the dirt, and it'll probably be Melody that does it, and we will still have Jesse Salco as Bombshell Internet Champion come Monday morning. That's my thoughts. That's my prediction. All right? About 6 weeks ago, Jesse Salco was a little butthurt, right, that I didn't pick her to win, and she won, and she threw it in my face, right, because, listen, there were predictions, and I got one wrong. Fucking sue me, okay? Maybe I'll get this one wrong too, bitch. Who knows? Next match on the card is another one-on-one, all right? It's Joshua Aquin, excuse me, Joshua Aquin, right, against Constantine. To me, Constantine has been just really underwhelming since he's shown up here in Sin City Wrestling. I think he's a joke, and Joshua has a renewed fire about him, so I can't see Joshua losing this match. Save for some weird, unforeseen interference or unexpected scenario, Joshua will win this one. He'll win it handily, and everyone will move on. And I wouldn't be surprised that Joshua starts seeing the gold in his future, right? He keeps acting like this, right? He keeps showing up and putting the effort in. You know what? He might deserve something, all right? He might. Let's not get too crazy here, but he might, okay? This show to me is one of my favorites. I think that it's an underrated show. It's one of their more underrated shows, but it's had some good cards in the past. A lot of people don't remember this, but Drake Green's first match ever in Sin City Wrestling was at Into the Void pay-per-view. So again, a lot of history with Into the Void. I think that it will be a very good show. And speaking of very good showings, Bad Company, the team of Johnny Tsunami and Caleb Houston, will make their official debut against former World Tag Team Champions, the Surf Boys, Gnarly and Radical. You know, Johnny and Caleb, to me, if they can somehow stay interested in what they're doing, are a just dangerous fucking tag team. Like, dangerous. Immense talent in both of those young individuals. And I think if they show up, they will run right through the Surf Boys. And I think they will show up. At least for one match, they will show up. So I'm going to pick Bad Company, the team of Johnny Tsunami and Caleb Houston, to take the win here, right? And firmly set their sights on tag team gold. I think that's going to be the goal here. Come in, dominate, and then turn right to the winner of the Team BJ versus Monsters match later in the evening. That's just my thought. Another one-on-one match. Veronica Taylor, who has disappointed as of late, goes against another bombshell who has disappointed as of late, and that's former world champion Micah. Micah versus Veronica Taylor, to me, you would think is just a huge seesaw, right? That's a big, unbalanced match. Micah should win this match without breaking a sweat. And listen, Micah is an enigma to me because she's by far the most talented bombshell on the roster. I don't think anyone would argue that. But she doesn't want to work recently, right? She just doesn't want to show up. So, who are we going to see? Are we going to see the dominant Micah that held that belt for a record-setting 9 months? Or are we going to see, this Micah that has lost 2 matches in a row? 2 matches in a row. I don't think I'd ever seen her pinned before she lost to Lucy Serafina, right? But now she's lost 2 in a row. I don't know. I'm going to pick Micah here just because, I think it would be idiotic and ridiculous to pick Veronica Taylor in this match. So I will pick Micah. But I don't know. There's nothing really that convinces me that Micah will show up and put the effort in. So I don't know. Bombshell Roulette Championship match. I have been pumping up Zuri Chastain, Lady Justice, since her return. She has looked great. She's looked awesome. She's looked near unbeatable. But guess what? She's going to lose to Kate Steele. Kate Steele, to me, is our most underrated champion. No one talks about her, right? It never comes up in conversation unless we're also talking about her cunt whore fucking choke artist partner, Krista Millar, right? We don't talk about Kate Steele. Why is that? Kate Steele is awesome, right? She's a good champion. She's solid in the ring. She shows up every week, no matter what. And you know what? I think she's going to win. I think she's going to retain. I think it'll be a good match. Okay, I think Zuri is a phenomenal talent. But me, personally, when I look at Kate Steele, I think she's a champion, right? She's a champion, and I think champions win. So, my vote to Kate Steele. I didn't open up the mailbag this week. We're not going to get into stock up and stock down. We're not going to get into any of that because this is the Into the Void special, right? This is the very, what's the word I'm looking for? This is directed completely towards Into the Void. So we don't want to muddy up the show and talk about other things. But I did throw a poll out there this week, right? We talked about, and my question was, which match has the potential to steal the show? All right. And I put a couple on that list already. We talked about a couple on that list already. But why did I put certain matches and why didn't I put certain matches on the list, right? So let's just go through the 4 that were nominated. The Superstar Roulette title match, that's the Four Corners match. James Tuskini, Ryan Keys, Steve Ramone, and Matt Spears. The Bombshell Internet title match, right? That's technically a tag team match, right? Metal and Punk Connection versus Melody Grace and Natalie McKinley. All right. I also put 2 other matches in there. We're going to get into these matches a little bit later, so I don't want to talk too much about them. But Drake Green versus TNA, right? And the Superstar Internet title match, the Triple Threat Rage of the Champion, and I use that word loosely, by the way, versus Dimitri and Casey Williams, right? I got a question or a message from a listener saying, hey, what about the Bombshell title match or the World Heavyweight Championship match? Can they not steal the show? And I just want to kind of address why I didn't add those, because I think both of those matches, the triple threat for the Bombshell Championship or the main event J2H versus Despair for the World Heavyweight Championship, can easily be the best match on the show. I don't think anyone thinks not. In fact, I would be shocked if J2H versus Despair is not the match of the night. But when we talk about stealing the show, right, the main event doesn't steal the show. The main event is the show, right? The main event is what you're paying to see. It's what you're going for. So it should thrill you. It should be the match of the night. It should be everything that you hoped it to be. All right? It's the matches on the undercard, okay, that can steal the spotlight, so to speak. So that's why I did that. And just so everybody knows, this is the second week in a row where I actually agree with the SCW universe. So good for you guys. You guys did not make a stupid decision this week, right? 45% of the vote went for that Bombshell Internet title match. Okay, that's what I would have voted for. 23% versus Drake Green and TNA, and then 18 for the Superstar Roulette title, and 14% for the Superstar Internet title. I think all 4 of those matches will be great and do have the opportunity to steal the show. If one of them does, it will be that Bombshell Tag Team Championship. That I promise. I'm sorry, the Bombshell Internet Championship match in a tag team. But getting back to the matches, we just talked about this one very briefly, and that's Drake Green versus Travis Nathaniel Andrews. Drake Green has been out. He's been injured. TNA re-injured that shoulder. I think Drake is making a mistake coming back so quickly. This match is unsanctioned, right? Drake Green has not passed physicals. Okay, so he's technically not cleared to wrestle. He signed a waiver that SCW will not be held responsible for any more injuries. So, that being said, I'm going to pick TNA. I think TNA, to me, is one of the best technical wrestlers in the world. And he's got a great edge to him. He's on fire recently. So I'm going to go ahead and pick TNA. Would I be surprised if Drake wins? No, I wouldn't be. Drake's probably one of the best ever, right? Only 3-time heavyweight champion ever. But to me, TNA is going to get the spotlight this Sunday. And if it's just because Drake is injured, it's just because Drake is injured. But TNA is going to win. World Bombshell Tag Team Champions, right? Team Hero, Roxy Johnson and Kira Fisher have repeatedly been on my stock down list because they don't seem like they give a shit about their titles. Can't say it enough. Best tag team in professional wrestling, with a dick or without a dick. They're the best. True story, right? But they're not great champs. Lucy Serafina and Uriela Abaddon. I think you're going to lose, Lucy, Uriela. I think Team Hero will retain. And you know what, Lucy? I think you got bigger and better things ahead of you, right? You pinned Micah, and you deserve all the credit in the world for that. And Uriel, you look like you got a bright future too. But I just don't. This is the first time you guys are really teaming in a big, high-profile match. And Roxy Johnson and Kira Fisher, I mean, they do this shit before they get out of bed in the morning. Like, this is their game. So they will win. And you know what? I think it might be to the detriment of SCW, because you guys really need to show up and pump your titles, because you're just making the titles kind of pointless, and it's sad. The next match after that is the World Tag Team Championship. Hardcore rules, right? Team BJ, Ben Jordan and Jamie Dean, versus the Monstimals, right? Lord Rob and his husband Samuel McPherson. I think Team BJ will ultimately retain. This might bite me in the ass because I never pick against Ben Jordan. Right, I got this one wrong a couple weeks ago. I picked Ben Jordan and he lost to Samuel McPherson. But to me, I think these guys aren't done with those belts yet. The Monsimals are awesome. I think they might be the best team, best male team anyway on the roster. But just the way Ben Jordan and Jamie Dean gel, their title run's still in its infancy. I'm going to go ahead and pick Team BJ. And like some matches where I say I wouldn't be surprised if I was wrong, I would be surprised. I'd be shocked if Team BJ loses this match. No slight on Lord Rob or Samuel McPherson. I think Samuel has a bigger future in front of him than some people might give him credit for. Lord Rob, obviously, former roulette champion, former world heavyweight champion, a fantastic competitor. But I just see Team BJ winning this one. Right. Last three matches of the night, guys. Last three of the night. The first one I want to talk about is the Internet Championship, the Superstar Internet Championship. A triple threat match. Rage, Dimitri, and Casey Williams. Let's break this down. So Dimitri and Casey Williams have been going at it forever. Right? The three of these guys were in a match for the Internet Championship, the vacant Internet Championship at Blaze of Glory. Rage won, and you would think, okay, Rage would move on. Dimitri and Casey Williams start going after each other. It gets kind of violent and brutal to the point where, I think Casey Williams is on fire and could possibly challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship. He's never looked better. And then Rage has his, ceremonial title defense against Dimitri because he was probably the runner-up, so to speak, in a way, in that match of Blaze of Glory. And he disappoints us all and fucking loses, right? So now Dimitri is the Internet Champion, right? But Rage says, wait a second, I have my automatic rematch clause. Next show, I want my fucking match. I want my title back. So Rage against Dimitri for the championship. And Dimitri fucking loses, right? So now we have Dimitri that says, well, wait a second. I want my rematch. All right? So now we have Rage versus Dimitri for the Internet Championship again at Into the Void 5. But wait, there's more. Casey Williams already had a match booked against Dimitri. So he says, wait a fucking minute. Right? I want Dimitri in the ring. I don't care if he's challenging for the Internet Championship. I already had a match against this motherfucker, so put me in the match. Right? So that's how we ended up here. Okay? And by all laws of physics and logic, I should be picking Rage to win this match. Right? But I have zero fucking confidence in Rage defending this title. I don't. And I also have zero fucking confidence in Dimitri right now. Right? But I'm also really high on Casey Williams. Right? He has never looked this good. So you know what? The hot potato is going to continue. All right? It's going to pop right into the hands of the hottest guy in that match, and that's Casey Williams. Okay? And Casey Williams is going to walk out of Tokyo as the Internet Champion. Boom. You heard that shit here first, motherfuckers. Right? And you know what? Casey, I'm so confident that I'm giving you the standing ovation right fucking now, baby. Bring that title home to Nashua. Oh, yeah. All right. First of the two main events. World Bombshell Championship. Again, also a triple threat match. Right, we got a couple of those tonight. Mercedes Vargas versus Samantha Marlowe and versus, obviously, the whore, Crystal Millar. How did we get here? Crystal Millar got here by winning the Blast for the Past tournament. All right. guaranteeing her a World Bombshell title match at Into the Void 5. So that's why she's here, right? The match should have been Samantha Marlowe versus Krista Millar one-on-one. Should have happened, all right? But a couple weeks ago, 3 to be exact, Samantha Marlowe defended her title against Mercedes Vargas and lost. And all of a sudden, we have a similar situation that we have with the Internet Championship, right? So now it should be Mercedes versus Krista Millar, but Sam says, well, wait a second, in her very sweet, innocent, lovely, beautiful voice, I deserve my rematch too, so I'm going to jump onto Crystal's party. Okay, so now we have a triple threat. Ultimately, I think the outcome would have been the same no matter who was in this match. I do think Crystal Millar is going to walk out of Into the Void 5 as the World Bombshell Champion. To me, Mercedes, I love you. I think you're a thoroughbred. Probably didn't deserve that title match to begin with that you got 3 weeks ago, and I don't think you deserve to win it just by the way shit went down. Sam, love you. You know how I feel about you. But to me, you couldn't defend your title when it meant most. I don't see you regaining it here. I think the Millar era will start at Into the Void 5, and I think her merchandise will continue to sell, and we'll all be fucking tortured because of it. Because let me tell you, I am so sick of hearing that fucking cunt choke on cock. But what are you going to do, right? It is what it is. And the final match of the evening, the second part of our main event, the World Heavyweight Championship, J2H versus Despair. How did we get here? Same exact way we almost got to the last match, right? Despair won. He was Kristen Millar's partner in Blast for the Past. He won his opportunity here. J2H, unlike Samantha Marlowe, successfully defended his title. So he shows up here as champion. It's a one-on-one match. J2H has been a great champion, right? I mean, he has. And anyone that says anything otherwise is just a fucking asshole, right? This belt hasn't looked as good as it does now in a long time. And that includes Drake Green wearing the belt. That includes Gabriel wearing the belt, Sean Jackson, you name it. Probably going back to Spike Staggs or Nick Jones. We haven't had a champion this good. So when I hear through the grapevine that people are unhappy with J2H in that top spot, you know what I say? I say too fucking bad. Like, you know what? If you can't beat him, don't be a sour bitch. Like, he's great and he's fantastic. But Despair is also great and fantastic, right? And Despair poses a problem for J2H because he's never faced someone like Despair. Despair is completely different than anyone else on this roster or any roster for that matter. I do think that J2H will walk out of Into the Void 5 still World Heavyweight Champion. I do. I think this might be one of those matches that we look back on and think, wow, this is like, Macho Man and Steamboat. This is like one of those great, great matches. But I do think that J2H will find a way to win because he's that crafty and he's that good. So I do think we will not have a new World Heavyweight Champion. Excuse me. That being said, those are your predictions, motherfuckers. I hope you enjoy Into the Void 5. I know I will. As always, I'll be backstage in the green room, popping bottles with my boy, Mark Ward, while you guys all enjoy the show. And until next week, when we break down the whole fucking show and we bring back the mailbag, I love you all. Have a great weekend. If you didn't like my show, go fuck yourself.